My mother is a Southern church lady who would just as soon praise the Lord as bless your heart. She serves on the Altar Guild, is past president of the Women's Service League, and attends weekly Bible study, in addition to church services, of course. On her night table is a well-worn, bookmarked Bible, and she is always praying for somebody. Most likely it's me. My mother missed the sexual revolution altogether. She grew up in a strict Southern Baptist household, and in the early 60s attended a women's college where she wasn't allowed to wear slacks and had to have written permission from her parents on file to leave campus. When she was 21, she married my dad, her high school sweetheart. By the time of the 70s Equal Rights Amendment movement, she was busy raising me, and she didn't think much of those women's libbers. During the Judy Blume stage of my childhood, when I asked my mom questions about periods and where babies came from, she would always answer truthfully. There was no talk of storks or euphemisms for genitalia, but she never mentioned that sex was supposed to be fun. Imagine my surprise when I realized for myself that it really, really is. Past settling the birds and bees issue, I hardly ever talked to my mother about sex again. After I graduated from college, I spent the summer traveling in Europe, and my mom decided to join me for the last 2 weeks in Italy. Traveling by train to major cities in Europe with a woman who has spent almost no time outside the United States and who does not understand for the life of her why people will not put more ice in her drinks. It was sometimes a challenge, but we had a good time. We saw transcendent art, strolled the sun-bathed lanes of history, and ate delicious gelato and pasta. One night, I even got my mother drunk on cheap Chianti, to the point where she was giggling and singing a slightly risque song from college called Minnie the Mermaid while walking beside the Arno in Florence. Then we got to Siena, and awkwardness ensued. It was hot, and after we pulled our suitcases uphill to the hotel, I wanted to take a shower. My mom said that was fine, and she turned on the TV. I didn't think much of it until I turned off the water, and I started to hear noises from the TV. Moaning noises. Sexy noises. Wrapping myself in a towel, I poked my head out of the bathroom to see my mother sitting on the edge of the bed, her eyes wide as dinner plates, staring at the quickly turned off TV. Mom, are you okay? I asked. Yes, I'm just fine, she responded, a little too fast. You look upset. Did something happen? Well, I turned on the TV to see if there was any news in English, and I got to this channel, and it was very strange. How so? Well, there was this woman, and she was very excited, but she was by herself. Well, Mom, sometimes they put stuff on TV in other countries that you wouldn't see in the United States, so it sounds like it was some kind of pornography. You can just ignore it. Don't worry about it. Kathleen, you do not understand. She was very excited, and she was by herself. Really? Was I really going to have to explain this? Mom, some people like to watch women touching themselves and enjoying it, so they made a movie of it. But it's okay, you don't have to watch it. Oh, Kathleen, you don't understand anything. I let that one drop like a stone. We changed the subject and never discussed it again. But now that I have a preteen daughter and I've had a few sex talks with her, I've thought back to that conversation with my mother. I don't know if my mom was truly unaware of female masturbation or was too embarrassed to admit that she knew about it, but either way, it made me kind of sad for her. So I made sure to tell my daughter that even though sex sounds so gross, Mom, that it feels good and it's a nice thing for consenting adults to enjoy responsibly when they are ready. I also got completely indignant when I saw that the American Girl Body Book doesn't label the clitoris on its female anatomy diagram, and I made a point of telling my daughter what it is, what it does, and that nobody gets to touch it without her permission, which she said she is Never going to give anyone ever because, ew. Look, that's fine by me, but at least she knows, and likely the information will come in useful at some point in the future, even if she is by herself.